Well, welcome viewers. What happens when the public sees the evidence but the jury does not? What happens when a video viewed by millions becomes unavailable inside the very courtroom tasked to determine the truth? The controversy surrounding the exclusion of key video evidence in the Bankstown nurses case has reignited a question that reaches far beyond one trial. Can justice function properly when direct visual evidence is removed from consideration? Supporters of the ruling argue that courts must uphold legal principles, regardless of public opinion. And critics argue that excluding highly relevant evidence risks undermining public confidence in the justice system itself. This discussion is not about guilt or innocence. It's about evidence. It's about transparency. It's about whether the justice system serves truth most effectively when juries are permitted to examine critical evidence for themselves. When video recordings exist, many citizens instinctively believe the path toward truth becomes clearer. Yet law sometimes reaches a different conclusion. The result is growing tension between legal process and public expectation. And that tension sits at the centre of this now controversy, the Bankstown nurses scandal.
Lawyers for two Bankstown nurses accused of making anti-Semitic threats online say not only should the trial be thrown out, but the police witness himself should be charged. It caps off a bombshell hearing, with the judge now set to decide whether the video evidence was illegally recorded.
Defiant in the face of accusations of anti-Semitic hate.
We have argued that it was a private conversation which was unlawfully recorded.
Bankstown nurses Ahmed Nadib and Sarah Abu Lebdeb addressing the media through their law.
Viewers, I can assure you that video was voluntarily recorded and they knew that it was going to be available through the person that they were sharing it with. So this is another way in which these corrupt people can get out of their crimes.
Through their lawyers.
The court needs to question whether this video is illegally obtained or not.
This is the video in question.
I won't treat them. I won't treat them. I'll kill them.
Lawyers for the accused now pushing for the video recorded by Israeli influencer Max Ilinsky, known as Max Vifer, to be excluded from the upcoming trial.
It will be a devastating blow to the prosecution's case if that happens.
Barrister for the nurse.
Yeah, but the thing is, viewers, when you go on those platforms, you know that your video is going to be available to the public.
Nurses Greg James KC acknowledged their comments were plainly stupid things said by stupid people, conceding content.
Now, viewers, they weren't just plainly stupid, they were threatening and incriminating statements.
Content creator Ilinsky hit the jackpot when it came to the conversation, but that's no reason to reward the activity.
Do you regret what you allegedly said, or do you just regret that it was recorded? Do you think that the jury deserves to see this video, given the context of the comments? The judge will make his decision on the 23rd of June. If the video is deemed inadmissible, the prosecution will have to solely rely on the evidence of Max Vifer, who is expected to fly out for the trial.
If that were to happen, lawyers for the accused suggest he could be the one facing prosecution instead.
If it is found to be illegal and this witness touches down in Australia, would he be legally charged?
James Wilson.
That's how corrupt the law system is, viewers. That's how corrupt. You've got to stay out of these courts. You've got to completely stay out of these courts because they're absolutely, to the core, morally bankrupt.
There has been a huge legal twist in the case against two Bankstown nurses accused of making anti-Semitic comments while chatting online to an Israeli influencer. The judge today ruling that the video that went viral is inadmissible as evidence.
How can a viral video be inadmissible evidence? The whole thing's based on the video.
Entire case now resting on one witness.
They're the Bankstown nurses that made headlines around the world. But the very video that put them in the spotlight has today been excluded from their trials.
Today's ruling is a major victory for my client.
Sarah Abu-Lebda and
No, it's a major victory for crime. That's what it is. It's a major victory for crime. They're criminals and they need to be convicted.
Ahmed Nadir's lawyers arguing earlier this month that the conversation between the pair and the Israeli vigilante influencer Max Ilinsky was a private interaction. And today, Judge McHugh agreed, ruling the footage inadmissible. Ultimately, I've come to the firm view that all the video evidence must be excluded from each of the trials of the applicants. The former nurses have both pleaded not guilty to one charge of use of carriage service to menace, harass or offend.
Okay, so if you can't use the video evidence, you can certainly use the statements, surely, the things that they said and the threats that they made and the confessions that they made.
Lebda is also charged with threat and violence to a group, which she has also pleaded not guilty to.
Of course they have. The Muslims, this is where they bring all the Muslims undone, the lot of them.
At this stage, their trials are scheduled for August 31. But today's decision will be a huge blow to the Crown's case, who previously argued that a chat room conversation could not be considered private.
I think it was ultimately a gamble by the prosecution. I think their evidence was based on confidence rather than actual evidence that could be proved beyond reasonable doubt in relation to my client's guilt.
They'll now need to rely on Max Ilinsky's testimony, and if the trial still goes ahead, he's expected to travel.
Viewers, the whole world has seen this, right? And in the, I don't know who's running this court case, but if the man from Israel comes over here, which I'd advise him not to, don't do it. These courts are completely morally bankrupt. They'll incriminate him for exposing the true nature behind these nurses. It's just so corrupt. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there because it goes on and on and on. But this is the state that Australia's in. Stay out of the courts. They're morally bankrupt.
You know what? Oh, shit.
How are you, man?
Good, how are you, my man?
Pretty good. Are you a nurse? A doctor?
I'm a doctor, my man.
A doctor? For what?
In hospital. What about you? Where you from?
I'm from Israel. From the Holy Land.
Right. You know what? I'm gonna be really honest with you.
Alright.
I'm gonna be really honest with you. You actually got a really, really beautiful eyes.
Thank you,
but
man.
I'm so upset that you're Israeli. Like, eventually you're gonna get killed and you're gonna go to Jahannam, inshallah.
I just have to say, apparently there's a court restriction on this video, so I can only show certain elements, but I can play it in the background.